Okay. I think it's just me right now, but I'll talk just in case anyone watches later. I am sketching some very cute kittens right now. And let me know if you can hear me. Because I am streaming on my camera right now. And I've never done that before, so I have honestly no clue how it's going to work out. But I'm going to get my pencil ready. And then I'm looking for some tape right here. And I'm going to prep these papers to get some kittens on them. And I don't show this process very much of my commissions because I think it's boring and I hate doing it. But I've had enough people ask that it doesn't hurt. Get this out of the way. It doesn't hurt to show you guys. And if it helps someone else, then even better. I don't like where that is. Move it up a little higher. And then bear with me. I think I'm going to tell my Instagram that I'm live right now. Because it's feeling a little lonely right now, I'm not going to lie. Take a cute little picture. Bam. Okay. Live. Great. And then let me get a link and put that on my Instagram story. Where do I do that? Okay, I think that's good. Okay. So when I sketch, I use a projector app for commissions specifically because I want things to be very exact. And when you're painting someone's pet, for me, if I didn't use the projector app, I could get a pretty close likeness of that animal, but the owner is going to be able to pick out little tiny details that I missed or messed up. So that's why I like to use a projector, because it makes sure that I get all those tiny details just perfect. And I have two cats I'm sketching today, a tortoise shell and a tuxedo cat. So let me show you guys. Let's keep current selection. So this app, I have to look up what it's called. It's literally called like projector or something like that. I hit the tripod mode and you can kind of see how it shows the photo overlaid the camera, and it's really useful. I can sketch the lines as I see them, and I really love that I can zoom in and out. And I got a dedicated little tripod for this, and it has sped up my process so much. So that's why I use it. It's a tool. I don't see it as cheating or anything like that, because honestly, the tricky part, the real art part, is not the sketch. For me, it's the watercolor, and that's where I spend my most time, and I really just want to get the sketch out of the way so I can work on creating the art I really like. Okay. Sorry, it's a little slow for me to get started here. So I just like taking my time positioning this on the paper because, and I like to use my hand to view, like, okay, the head's here, bulk of the body is here. Do I like that layout? No. Okay, I'm gonna make sure to twist it and adjust it here. So his tail would be right here, head here, body. So that gives me a good amount of space for the background. Almost a lot of space, but no, his ear goes right to the edge here. So I think this is a good size. And then I hit lock so I don't accidentally move it because I've done that a lot and it ruins it. It's very frustrating. And now I can increase the opacity again so I can see the picture a bit better. And let me know if you want to see the actual photo. I do have it. And I start on the left side so that my hand doesn't smudge my sketching as I move across the paper. And for whatever reason, I always like to start with the left tip of ears on animals. This is kind of a tricky reference photo. I've had to edit it a lot, trying to increase the brightness and the saturation and contrast and the sharpness. And he's a little bit backlit, so it does make things a little bit tricky. I've painted and sketched enough cats that I know in general what body part is what or what shadow is what on animals, so I can kind of guess. But when I zoom in and it's just a bunch of pixels, it does make it a little bit tricky. And sometimes that means I have to be a little less detailed in the painting. So I have 2 cats I'm going to be sketching today. I'm going to be on for probably an hour or so. And these are cats I've painted before, actually. I did a really adorable commission. You might have seen it. I've posted it a bunch of a tuxedo cat in a bag. And he's adorable. I love that painting so much. And that is this cat here. And I'm painting his kitten portrait now. Can you guys even see that? Is that hard to see? I wonder if I can move it a little bit closer. Okay, we're gonna go with that for now. I can never seem to figure out the best time for YouTube Live. Sometimes I get 2,000 people. Other times, like right now, I get literally nobody hanging out with me. It's probably, honestly, I should be like scheduling these because as of right now, I just hop on literally whenever I want, and I know that's not helpful. But what are you gonna do? My creative juices strike at random times. There's no scheduling them, unfortunately. And honestly, if I were to schedule them, my brain would be even more likely to rebel and not want to do them. It's a problem. Does that make it easier to see? I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a pain in the butt to see for you guys. Turn this brightness down. I had to use my camera for this stream because I use my phone for this sketching process. So I am working out some kinks here for sure. And with watercolor, I do sketch really light because I don't want the pencil lines showing through the paint when I'm working on the painting. And because I sketch really light, I'm just now realizing it's basically invisible for you guys right now. Yeah, this kitten's name is Sullivan. It's a really cute picture. He's kind of like turning around and his tail is in the foreground of this picture. So it's going to be super interesting painting, I think. Different than all the normal poses I paint, which fits for him because the last painting I did for him, he was in a paper bag. And I never painted a paper bag before, but I think it turned out. Trying to be mindful to keep my hand out of the way so you guys can at least see something. I did not think this positioning through, the sketch through. Just hopped on live with not a lot of consideration. I should have put my camera on the other side so my hand wasn't blocking the camera. So he has like a little dark spot on his chin here. Might need to look up some other photos of him to remember where exactly that is. And he's got a really cute bell right here that I think will be fun to paint in. Some very wispy hairs. My sketches aren't a one-to-one sketch meant to look just like the cat looks, you know. It's more of a map that I'm making for myself of where the lightest and darkest spots are or specific colors that I want to add in. So they're not the most flattering sketches. They are definitely more a tool. Now this is the tricky part because the reference photo is a bit blurry. This whole mass of his body is just that, just a mass of dark. So I am guessing right now what's what. I think this whole area is his tail. Unfortunately, though, that is the reality when painting pet portraits. You know, Sully here is still with us, but he can't go and get more kitten photos. So we're stuck with the kitten photos he has. Or, you know, I paint a lot of memorial portraits and you can't go and get more photos of that animal once they've passed. So sometimes you just have to paint the photo that they have. And I'm getting better at that. I used to have to turn down more commissions because I couldn't identify details or I wasn't confident in my ability to kind of guess on paintings. This angle is interesting because I've never painted the back of an animal's legs before. I like to sketch in the shadows here, so I know this area. Gosh, you can't even see it, can you? Let me fix my camera. It's a little better. So I know that like this area is darker than this area, and this area over here is actually even lighter than all of it. Things like that. I've had other people ask about this process too, like other artists wanting to know how I start my process. So I figure having a live video of the whole thing couldn't hurt. It'll always be on my profile then, so anyone can go back and watch it later. I have a short video of this process on my YouTube, like of one I edited and created. That could be helpful too. It shows more about the app itself that I'm using. I think I paid $5 for this app years ago. It's like the best $5 I've ever spent. I've gotten so much use out of it. It's no frills. Like it does what it's supposed to do. And I appreciate that, you know? Give me a second. I'm gonna hop on my computer real quick. I'm back. I'm almost done with him. There's not too many more details. Try and remember to sketch the shadows in later. Not that I'm going to paint like an exact background of this cat, of this photo, but it'll help with making it look more realistic later by making the areas darker right here. I don't know. We shall see. This is an interesting pose for sure. I think that is the tail there, and then this is a dark spot on his leg. There's a dark shadow here. That's a hip right there. I know this is the front leg. Beyond that, everything's pretty obscured. I'm gonna have to just keep it blurry there in the painting. Time for the rest of his face. With the whiskers, I used to use masking fluid and try and protect the white of the paper underneath and preserve that and use that to create the whiskers, but it always ended up looking so sloppy. Like it would be jagged edge. I just couldn't get it to look right. I tried everything. So now I just kind of guess where they are at the end of the painting because inevitably I'm going to paint over those lines with super dark black paint. So I'll just guess later with white opaque paint. Same with all of these whiskers here. I can put them in now, but they're going to disappear later. And then when I finish a sketch, I take a screenshot on my phone of the sketch with the photograph overlaid because it helps me identify, like, say I have all this mess of sketching over here and I can't tell what this clump of dark is supposed to be. If I look at the screenshot, I can see, oh yeah, that clump of dark was overlaying this one weird dark circle here. So that's what that meant. It actually ends up being very helpful. Okay, I think that's about it. Unfortunately, there are not a lot of details in this one. I'm just looking, making sure I'm not forgetting anything huge. No, I think that is about it for Sullivan. Okay. Siri, take a screenshot. And she took it on my iPad. That's helpful. Siri, take a screenshot. There, she did it. Okay. And then I like to zoom in on the face just in case, because those are some really small details. Siri, take a screenshot. Alrighty. And then I took a picture of the sketch itself with my phone. And now this is ready to paint. I'm gonna set it aside and do the next one. I had my camera set further back so you guys could like see my phone at the same time, but I'm wondering if I should just bring it closer so you can see the sketch. I'm gonna do that instead. Okay, is that showing anything? Nope, that's too close. We'll go with that. Maybe. Guys, I'm new at this. Be nice to me. No, that looks horrible. Okay, I think that works. Maybe. Okay. Is that any better? That is closer to the camera. I had to move it because it was further away and I felt like you guys couldn't see the sketch at all. But this is the finished sketch, and that's too blurry. And his name is Sullivan, and he's a black and white tuxedo cat. And this is a pose I've never sketched before. We'll see how it turns out in painting. Should be really cute. Okay, next one. This is his brother. I'm going to work on. I really hate this angle, by the way. I feel like you guys can't see anything, but I need my phone to do the projector app that I use. And now that I'm looking at this, once I start sketching, you really aren't going to see anything because my hand is going to block everything just like that. So I'm going to have to move the camera again. You guys are going to have to bear with me. Of course, the first time someone hops on in half an hour, I finished a whole sketch already. Okay, let's see. How do I want to do this? You guys are going up. And then I'll move this a little bit. It's all trial and error. I'll do this again another time, and I've already learned different things to change now. Like putting the camera on the other side so my hand doesn't block everything. Just opening up my projector app again. And we're gonna do the next kitty, which this one is going to be harder. This is a tortoiseshell cat, and it's definitely a more ambiguous photo. So his whole body will be here. I'm just trying to visualize where I might want it. All right, we're gonna lock it and we're gonna go with that. Again, I like to start with the ears on the left side. Just so my hand doesn't smudge it. It's blurry. But yeah, this is definitely a tricky pose. I've never painted this pose before. She's like all curled up like cats do. Their paw over her face, their face just peeking out underneath. You know what? My camera is really struggling right now, so I'm gonna readjust. I'm gonna try and find another way to do this. Thank you for stopping by. For those of you that did, hope you learned something. Go check out the other video I have on my profile of this whole process. It's like 4 minutes long if you want something more concise.